The chill of the night air hung thick with salt and mist along the French coastline near Calais, where a group of shadowy figures huddled together, faces cloaked with fear and fatigue. Among them was Kofi, an African man with a resolute gaze, who clutched his wife Albani's hand tightly in one of his own, while his other arm wrapped protectively around his 9-year-old son, Omari. They had all left so much behind, paying everything they had, £9,000, to get across the Channel and into the United Kingdom. But tonight, that hope felt as fragile as the damp fog settling over the shoreline. The boat waiting to take them across looked small and weather-beaten, a stark reminder of the danger they were about to face. The operators of tonight's crossing, however, had no such fears. Darius and Aram Karim, brothers from Iraq's Kurdish region, had built an empire of human trafficking that stretched from the beaches of Calais to the streets of Germany. Living in Germany themselves, they rarely dirtied their hands with the crossings anymore, but they ran their network with the ruthless ferocity that echoed back to their violent past, leaving little mercy or care for the lives they ferried across. For them, the journey was only about one thing: money. Tonight, their Albanian handlers were in charge, led by a brutal man named Kreshnik, who surveyed the gathering of migrants like cattle, barking orders to his crew. Kreshnik had a reputation nearly as feared as the Karim brothers. He made sure the crossings happened, weather and safety be damned. "Get in, quickly!" he snarled, gesturing sharply toward the inflatable boat. The engine idled, its low growl vibrating through the sand, as migrants scrambled in, one by one. Kofi and his family close, the fear in Albani's eyes mirroring his own, and guided Omari into the boat. His son clung to him, his small face peeking out from behind his father's shoulder, wide-eyed and trembling. His son clung to him, his small face peeking out from behind his father's shoulder, wide-eyed and trembling. One of the Albanians assigned to captain the boat, a wiry, disheveled man named Arton, stumbled as he approached, reeking of alcohol and muttering to himself. He shot a mocking grin at the passengers as he took his place at the helm, ignoring Kreshnik's glare. Arton had been drinking and doing lines of cocaine, numbing himself for yet another crossing, barely aware of the angry waves and ominous clouds. As the last passengers squeezed onto the boat, Arton revved the engine, and they pulled away from the shore into the vast, inky darkness of the English Channel. The lights of Calais faded behind them, swallowed by the night as they sped into the waves. Hours later, the sea grew angrier, the wind cutting cold and fierce through Kofi's clothes. He wrapped his arm around Omari, pulling him closer as the boat pitched and swayed. The night was pitch black, their only light coming from the occasional flicker of distant ships on the horizon. Albani's hand was a lifeline, and he gripped it as if it would tether them through this nightmare. But Arton, slurring and swaying, seemed barely able to keep his focus. He wobbled as he turned the wheel, steering them erratically, as if the waves themselves were his personal playground. Kofi watched, heart pounding, as the boat veered widely to the side, nearly capsizing as another wave slammed into them. And then he saw it, a massive tanker, its lights blazing as it plowed forward through the channel. They were in the midst of one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world, and the tanker's rumbling low horn cut through the night air, striking terror into the passengers. It was bearing down on them fast, its vast steel hull gleaming as it cut through the water like a juggernaut. "Hold on!" Kofi shouted, clutching Omari tighter as the boat lurched and twisted beneath them. Albani's hand tightened in his, her fingers like iron. He could see the panic in her eyes, her mouth open in a silent scream. The tanker struck. The impact was like thunder, tearing through the inflatable with a sickening crunch of fiberglass.